By duplicating modules, you're able to speed up your creation process. It's a great tool that Canvas has provided. However, sometimes it doesn't work. So in this lesson, we'll look at how do you duplicate a module, when you might want to duplicate a module, and what do you do when the module just won't duplicate. So you can see here that I have at the top a template module. This we cover in another video of why you might want to keep a template module, but it's a great way to use duplication in your favor. And so I tend to follow a pattern in my course of having certain text headers in my modules. And so to be able to create those quickly, I just want to be able to duplicate this and move on. I've also included some assignment templates that I tend to use regularly. Now, when you duplicate a module, what it does is it creates a copy of each of the item that's within that module. So you want to be careful not to just duplicate every module, because you'll end up with a bunch of assignments and pages that you don't actually want and are not going to use, and that means you have to clean them up later on. And so that's why using, say, a template module is very effective. In order to duplicate, we're just going to look in this upper right corner of the module at our snowman menu, and there we find the word duplicate. I'll explain in a minute what to do when you don't see that word. So I'm going to go ahead and click duplicate. It'll take a minute. And notice that it duplicated it right below the module that I was duplicating. That's a little different than how Canvas does most things, that it usually puts it at the very bottom of the page. So that's nice. And you can see here each of these course items has the word copy under it. These are actual new examples of each of those documents. They're separate, they're not the same. Now, if I was to use a document, say a stop page that I use in each module to tell my students when to stop, I wouldn't duplicate that page. Instead, I would just come up here and insert it. So I would only keep things in my template that I actually want new copies of. But now I can move these to where I want them to be, and I can start filling them in with the actual content that I'm going to use. Why didn't the text headers create the word or use the word copy afterwards like the module did in these items? The reason why is that text headers really are just labels. They're not course items, and so they can be duplicated, but you can't, say, link to them, and you can't put content in them in the same way that you would an assignment. And so those are just repeated. They're not individual pieces of information such as an assignment. Now, what do you do if a module does not say duplicate? So this one says duplicate, but let's go out to another course, and I'll show you one that it won't let you duplicate. So here I have this module, and I'm going to click here, and it doesn't have the word duplicate. Now, why is that? The reason why some modules can't be duplicated is that they have quiz items in it, and those quiz items won't be duplicated. So you can see here I have 1, 2, 3 quiz items in 4 with that unit test, 4 items that all can't be duplicated. And so in order for me to actually duplicate this module, what I would actually have to do is create a new module, and I'm just going to call this delete so that I remember to delete it. I would actually have to drag each of those quiz items out. And once those items are out of the module, notice there's our term right there, and then I can duplicate. I'm not going to, because I don't want to clean it up, but after I duplicated it, I can then just drag each of these items back. So that's a good indicator of why your module might not be duplicating. So in this lesson, we looked at how do you duplicate a module and why you might want to duplicate a module, as well as what to do when the module just won't duplicate. Cheers.